And this first roll-in features Alice Eggers, who is a member of the Fairfax County Police, and she knows of what she speaks about fraud, scams, and that sort of thing. Now, I'm kind of disappointed that Alice isn't here live this morning because I had a tease that I wanted to bring you. I thought that maybe Alice this morning would find some reason to take your host this morning in custody on live television. Never been done before on Village in Motion. In any case, let's sit back and watch Alice Eggers of the Fairfax County Police. Listen to Alice.
Hello, Green Spring. I'm Margaret O'Mara, and I'm here with Master Police Officer Allie Eggers.
Correct.
Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a joy to be here.
So do you have any summer tips for our residents?
Absolutely. As the summertime starts to heat up, a lot of what we get at this time of year is the vehicle tamperings, which is basically people come in and they break into your car and they steal your loose change, your sunglasses, your iPhone, your iPad, any type of valuables that are in the car. So what I usually suggest to people is make sure you take all your valuables out of the car with you when you go in at night or when you go into a store, or lock them in the trunk, so that way you don't have that issue or concern. And it's basically out of sight, out of mind. So if you're hiding items underneath the seat, things like that, same type of thing. And make sure that you do lock that door, because a lot of times we assume when we lock it, sometimes we hit the unlock and not the lock. So it's just making sure that when you're getting out of your vehicle that you're kind of doing that mental checklist in your head. I call it the 3-second rule. Take 3 seconds to think, what do I need? What are my surroundings? Where am I parking? If you know you're going to be parked till later at night, park in a well-lit area where you're right under the light, and you'll be fine.
So if something happens on campus for residents, who do they call? Do they call on-campus security, or would they contact you?
It would probably be both.
Okay.
So I would suggest contacting security, but also contacting the police department. There's always a need to have a report taken if you have an item stolen from your car. Same thing if you were at the mall. You would want to contact security, but you would also want to have the police department write a report if something was stolen from you or taken, or even if you lost it. All that needs to be taken care of, and it needs to be documented. So the actual mall or security here would have their own documentation, and then we have a separate documentation as law enforcement.
So for residents who file these, and a lot of times you'll think that you lose something, but you might not have actually lost it.
Correct.
If they file something with the police and they end up finding their item, do they just leave it there, or would they contact you to let you know that they found it?
They can contact us to let us know. We can file a supplement to that report. It's completely okay. It's not the first, and it won't be the last time. So there's no need to have any type of shame about it. If you lost something and then you found it, it's completely fine. The biggest thing is to have the documentation, and then the officer that wrote the original report, you can just contact them. A lot of times they'll give you a business card. You can send them an email, or you can call them on their extension and then just leave them a message that the item's been found. Can you please supplement the report? And it's no problem. It's 2 lines, no harm, no foul.
So the summertime is a prime time to go on vacation.
Correct.
Are there any security things that residents should look out for if they're going on vacation this summer?
I think anytime you use social media, I think you should be very careful about what you post and what you put out there about where you're going to be, who you're traveling with. I think the less information that you post, the better. I usually say if you want to let friends and family know that you're having a good time in the beach and your toes are in the sand, send them a private email to let them know that information, and try to keep things as private as possible. But also realize that during this time of years now, we have all the graduations. A lot of our grandparents and our seniors are getting these phone calls from someone that states that they're from a hospital, or they're from a police department from a foreign country. They're saying that their grandchild has been arrested or is in the hospital and needs money wired to them, and they're working off the emotions. So make sure that if you receive a phone call like that you tell them, please, I need to write down your phone number and your name. I will call you back. I just need to make a couple confirmations, and then I will call you back, and we'll go from there. That way you're not being sucked into the emotion at that moment, and it also allows you to contact family members, find out where that graduate is. Are they really in the country that this person is saying? And again, there's other things that can be done, you know, that you can go through local government and have, you know, money sent appropriately, not just by someone claiming that they need it immediately.
So that was a great segue into scams that happen, because our residents and, you know, older generations are, they fall under, you know, people who...
They're very charitable.
Charitable, yes. So
My senior population is my very good-hearted, charitable population that want to do good for the whole, for the community. So one of the things I also advise is to be very careful. If you get a phone call, reference maybe possibly the Orlando shooting, saying that they're collecting money for the victims, again, there are places that you can go to give money. I usually advise my seniors, and actually anybody in the community, that you need to pick one or two charities that you've done the research on. You know how much of a percentage of that particular amount of money that you give actually goes to the charity. And then at that point, when someone calls, you have no guilt. You can say, I already give to two particular charities, whether it be Red Cross, Heroes, Salvation Army, whoever it is, that you can say, those are the charities that I've chosen. I am comfortable with them. I will not give to any other charities. And again, a lot of our seniors also go to different houses of worship, so they give money there. Again, they can feel safe and secure to know that if there is extra funds that are put together, that they can give to that, you know, to that house of worship, or again, to their charity that they've already chosen ahead of time. Because a lot of times people will, again, work off of our emotions. They make that phone call and they say, hey, give right now. If you're still having doubts and concerns and you don't want to say no, what I usually advise is tell them on the phone, please send me via mail all the information. I will look over it and I will make a decision at my leisure about whether I will give to the charity or not. If it's a scam, more than likely you're not going to get anything from the mail. If it's not a scam and you do get the information, that allows you to have the paperwork, look it over, do research online, find out if this is a reputable charity and how much of a percentage of your money goes to that charity, and then you can make a good, solid decision without being pressured emotionally.
that's great. So I am very new here, but I've heard that you've been here working with Green Spring for about 10 years.
Correct. I came here when I was pregnant with my daughter. So I've been here at Green Springs a very long time, and I have such a draw to this community. I've done senior events, I've done driving events where we talk about driver safety, but this is probably one of my favorite communities. I just have such a tie here, and every time I've come, I've done personal safety presentations, I've done financial crimes presentations, we've talked about how to not be a victim. Everything just brings me back to this community, and I just have such a love for this community, and you guys have always been amazing to me when I've come here. So again, every time I come, I always have a smile on my face. It's my favorite.
So outside of Green Spring, what is your role in the Fairfax County community?
Very good question. I'm actually your crime prevention officer. So my job is I'm a liaison between the community and the officers that you see on a regular basis, or even the command staff within our station. So if you have a question or concern, or you're not quite sure about, particular crimes in your community, you can contact me via email. And that's Alice, ALICE, .Eggers, EGGERS, @fairfaxcounty.gov. You can email me. I will actually do any type of research that you're looking for, and then I will send you back a message advising what I found. Some people ask me about, hey, I saw some cruisers out in front of my home, or there was a really bad accident, I was concerned about them, whatever it may be, and I provide that follow-up. And I'm that follow-up of that, making it full circle is what I do. Because a lot of times information gets lost, so I provide that extra communication so that people can know what's going on in the community. Again, I'm just an extra component to the officer that you see every day and to the command staff that is at our district station.
Well, we're very grateful to have you. You mentioned going out into the community. For residents who do drive, what might be something, as they get older, driving becomes something to think about?
Absolutely. One of the things also we notice as we get older, what has changed predominantly is when we first took driving driver education a million years ago, myself included, is things have changed. A lot of that has to do with the mirrors. Now there's different ways that you can set your mirrors to catch into the blind spots that we were not taught growing up. We were taught that you were supposed to see down the side of the car completely. Now that's no longer true. They want you to turn the mirrors further out so that you can catch those blind spots. I advise people that, even myself, as I get older, if it's raining or if it's dark at night, that might not be the most ideal time for me to take a back road. You know your limitations, and within that, that's strength in itself, not weakness. So know your limitations. If you know that you don't drive well at night, or if it starts to rain, or you look ahead and you know it's going to rain, maybe you should ride with a friend, and maybe you should call somebody or a family member to take you out. Otherwise, I think the biggest thing to remember is slow and steady. Okay, everybody's in a rush, and Northern Virginia, we are the worst traffic in the country. We've beat out LA, New York, Hawaii, San Francisco. So a lot of times people don't realize that we do really have bad traffic. So take your time, don't be rushed. You do what you need to do. Make sure you use your turn signals. Make sure that you are watching your speed. Again, we have numerous things that are out now as far as education. A lot of times people, when we make that left-hand turn, we're always looking for a vehicle. So I advise people that a lot of times we miss the motorcyclist or we miss that pedestrian. So it's one of those conscious things that you have to tell yourself. I'm not only looking for a vehicle, I'm looking for a person, a bicyclist or a motorcyclist. Because whether we know it or not, subconsciously we will look right through that bicyclist, pedestrian, or motorcyclist, thinking we can make that turn or even make that right-hand turn, and there's somebody there. So again, when you know there's a crosswalk or you know there's an area where you're going to have high volumes, especially this time of year with the bicyclists, that maybe you should take that extra time and remind yourself, I'm not just looking for a car, I'm looking for a pedestrian, a bicyclist, or a motorcycle.
Well, we're just about out of time here. Is there any last-minute things you would like to say just to the residents in the community?
Just be aware of your surroundings when you're walking to and fro from either a strip mall or from the mall itself, the town center. Just be aware of your surroundings. Take those few seconds to look around and be aware of your environment. Put the cell phone in your purse. Always have the non-emergency number in there. 703-691-2131 is an excellent number to have in your purse. If you have a bad feeling about something, don't ignore it. Okay, that could be your guardian angel tapping you on the shoulder saying pay attention. If you feel uncomfortable, call for security. Have somebody walk you out. It doesn't hurt at all to make those phone calls, and it could be something that could help you, and that way you don't get hurt.
Well, thank you so much. Again, we're here with Alice Eggers, and I'm Margaret O'Mara. Thank you so much.